Okay, I think we'll get started. So today, kind of maybe more of a silly lab today, but what we're going to do is we're going to use the Linux program, which is basically it's a web browser for the terminal, and we're going to use that to create an API on our website here with a sequence that will say on or off for a red, green, blue, yellow LED. So the sequence will be reported to the web. The LuckFox will use the Linux program to go out and fetch that and then run through the LED sequence, and then it'll just repeat, go out and fetch again, and in the meantime we can update the website to change the sequence. So what's effectively happening here is we've got the LuckFox with its GPIO pins connected to these LEDs, and it will fetch the sequence of time and color for these LEDs. And you could certainly imagine controlling something more than just the LEDs here. And so this would be a way to provide information on the web that the LuckFox can go out and get. The references for this, if you are walking through this lab series, then we have everything we need. But if you're just coming to this for the first time, then the LuckFox tutorial, very, very good. Fusion Automate, a YouTube channel, shows you how to set up the Ubuntu distribution on the LuckFox, which is what we're using. And then our lab, number one, shows how to set up some Python. It's way more than you would need in terms of the packages. And then lab 3 is related to this. You don't need to look at this to do this one. But in lab 3, we go out and read Google Sheets remotely with the LuckFox. So here we're just going to read a regular website from that. So let's go ahead and go to the computer and get started on that. All right, so here we are. I'm on my LuckFox, and let's see, I'll show the LuckFox here. If you've been following along, we've made this stack of 4 LuckFoxes, but all you need is one LuckFox. And so we're actually going to be using not this top one, but the second one down. And we call that LuckFox 204. So that's just based on how we've assigned the IP addresses. So you can see coming off of, tilt this a little bit more, these are the GPIO outputs. This black is ground, and these are going to these various LEDs. So this is our setup here. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I think I'll just go to this for now. So the first thing we're going to want to do is install links, and I've already got it installed, but I'll just go through the code here. So sudo apt install links. And this should go pretty quickly, and of course I've already got it, so it won't do anything new here. Now, let's use it just in the command line to see how this is a command line web browser. And so let's try that. So http:// and then we'll just go to our website. Oops. Links, got to use links here. And we see it shows up as kind of a website. You can actually interact with the mouse, which is pretty interesting. And so this is essentially the text version of our web page. So let's do that now. So just Google Darren Olness, and this first one, darrenolness.com. So that's where we are in the terminal. And we could go look for see if I can find it here, the LuckFox lab. And here we are. So Introduction to LuckFox. If I go over here, then teaching LuckFox, Introduction to the LuckFox and Embedded Systems. So we're reading off the web here. Okay, well, that's kind of interesting in and of itself. And I was kind of thinking, what can we use this? Is it just sort of a novelty? But we actually can use this here to go and create another page. And I created this page under LuckFox, so just kind of a temporary test page. And so I just decided on the protocol. This is completely up to you on how you want to do this, but we can use the time. So what this is raw time after the fetch. So time equals 0, and then it's red, blue, green, yellow as it goes across. So from 0 to 7 seconds, all of them will be off. Then the blue and the yellow will come on from 7 to 10 seconds, and so on. And then we have an end sequence here that the LuckFox will read. So as you saw, the page is full of text, and so what we need is to fetch and then parse. And so we'll be looking for this sequence and just parsing these into what is going to turn on and off the LED. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go back here now to LuckFox, and we'll go down to the very bottom, and we're going to do read links read.txt. Now, if you've been following along, you know up on here, these text files are actually Python files. They're also on the GitHub page for this. So we can get the raw text for this. So we'll go ahead and grab this. And I always grab too much, so I have to be careful here. So we'll copy that. So now we will go to the terminal. And I'm in the directory I want, just projects. So I'll go sudo nano, and we'll go links read.py. And I will paste everything in. Hopefully pasted everything correctly. And so now we will close this. And we're ready to run it. So I will bring back so what we're going to be looking for, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here maybe on the LEDs. Okay. All right. So now we will go sudo python-3 links read. And we should see the pins come on. Okay, and you can follow along here. Now everything is off for 7 seconds, and then the blue and the yellow should turn on from 7 seconds to 10 seconds. And we should be following this particular sequence here. And so we can see this coming out, and we're following that. And now we're going out fetching again, and it should just read the same sequence because the sequence hasn't changed at all. But let's go ahead and change the sequence. And I've got a different one here. I'll just copy and paste. So this will be a little bit faster. This will change things every 2 seconds. So I'm going to copy and paste this. And then I'm going to go to my Google Sites, and I'm just going to replace everything here with the new sequence. Now this is not published yet, so this is on my editor, and so I'll publish the website and publish, and that should change that. And then now when we watch this sequence, we're going to have to wait until it's finished the sequence it just fetched, but once it's done that, then it should go out and fetch the new sequence. So now it should be fetching, and we should see that sequence was just turning one at a time every 2 seconds. So red, blue, green, yellow every 2 seconds, and then it'll come back the other direction. Yellow, green, blue, red, and then it'll turn everything off. Okay, and so that's the way to make a API that goes out and grabs something from the web. Presumably you would have that web be dynamic. Here's a little dynamic. We can copy things in and republish it, and then that could control something. So could be controlling a motor or something like that. You might imagine this for a much more lag time. So if it has to check it every day or every week or something like that, then this would be kind of an easy way to do that. So that's it for this lab. Rather simple, but kind of fun in its own right. Before we go, let's look at the Python program more closely. So if you're interested in that, stick around. And so I'm going to do just a switch here and switch over to this view. And let's go ahead and get that up. And let's expand the page here a bit. Okay, so not too much to import here. Periphery. So this is the program. This is the library python-periphery. So if you've been following along with our other videos, you'll have that already installed. But if you try this and it's saying missing the periphery, then I always forget what this package is called, but it's python-periphery, not just periphery. The rest are, I think, built in. Then you want to make sure that your wiring is correct. So this should match your physical wiring. Now these are the calculated pins. So grab your handy expanded chart here for the pin layout. These are not the physical pins, but the calculated pin numbers. And so GPIO 52 through 55 here being used. And then this is the particular web page that we'll be going to. Now I'm not going to go through all of this. Gemini has helped me write this, but I do want to highlight where actually the links Linux program actually comes into play. So most of this is just GPIO interaction, but right here for fetching. So this is where we introduce links, and it's coming in here as part of this sub process. So what this is doing is it's essentially running as it's letting the Python program run links as if kind of like we were doing at the beginning of the video where we ran it from the terminal. So it's calling links, and this is then going to the web page. So this was that web page URL, and then it's able to pull out the information from there. And then we have to parse and looking for, to look for the standard format. So when we developed this sort of API, we have fixed the particular format. So time, comma, on or off. And so it's looking directly for that, and then also looking for that end sequence. So that's really the nuts and bolts of this. Then the sequence is just to step through each of those. We use a delay to we figure out what the delay is based on the times given in the, because those are absolute times or raw times in the formatting. And yeah, that's about it. So that's how we incorporate this, or that's the main parts of the Python program. If you're interested in that.